I have to add myself to the stream. I forget every time. Look at me. I'm not ready to be on stream. What's up? How's everybody doing? KJ, I'm so sorry to hear about your mom. Oh my God. I'm so sorry to hear about your mom. That is heavy. And you did need some good news, KJ. Big time. Oh my God, I look like crap. Jen and my mom and Larry and everybody texted me. The one time I leave the house, I go right there to the dollar store. It's literally right there. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta hurry up and get back. So now I'm trying to figure out why. Okay, there she is. Yeah. I had to make a thumbnail and then I couldn't find it. So welcome to the shit show. -1 Mark L means. Whoop, whoop. He can advocate his ass off now. Hey, Mom.
Hey.
Hello.
Whoop. Did you add me?
Am
I here?
Screen, right. Oh. No?
No, I'm here.
Can you hear me, Mom?
Yeah, I just had my volume down. With the docs. Is Eric coming on?
Or maybe my speakers aren't up. That's what it is, because this thing goes off all the time. I'm so sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah, I could hear you before, just not super well.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So I have the docs.
Well, let's talk about it first. Let's I got bamboozled. I got buffaloed. I got freaking buffaloed by you and Mom and Larry and everybody. Check out the new bracelets.
Yay, I'm so excited to get mine.
I just got them. Oh my God, the light is not.
I know, it's kind of hard to see.
But,
there you go.
Oh my good God. How about that? It says justice. Backwards. Justice for Tylee. JJ. Whatever. And Charles. And on the inside, it says love always wins. So it's kind of cool, huh?
Okay. I'm just trying to get the...
I got these for Lori.
Awesome.
Actually, it was for the kids' stockings, but I was like, I want a pair for this. Anyways, I know. How are y'all doing? How's it going? How's your hoe? How's your whole family doing?
I can hear Michelle laughing in the other room.
I'm so glad. At least I don't have her crying, or vice versa.
Oh.
Anyways.
Shut the door. She was probably laughing at TikTok.
Oh, Jen, now I feel like crap.
Why?
Be funny, okay?
No, you are. She laughs all the time. I'm just joking because she doesn't laugh at me.
Yeah, actually, KJ, I used to be a deputy clerk. I was deputized and everything. Then I got a DWI, and I was like, what do I do? He was like, well, you can come to AA with me. I was like, yeah, that'll do.
That'll do.
That'll do.
I don't know where my charger is for my phone.
Well, KJ's mom passed away.
Damn it.
And so we were just telling her that we're sorry, but we're here for you. Lord knows you've been here for me, for us. I mean, whew, you're the glue that holds us together.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, and I'm so awkward.
I know.
Today is the anniversary, the 20th? 20th anniversary. December 28th.
For Maddie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, sorry.
And then her funeral was New Year's Eve, and so was my grandma. So at least I can remember the day that their funeral.
Right? Well, on a good note, Zach's birthday is New Year's Day on 2000. So it'll be 2022, and that's how old he'll be.
Wow.
So, I know. I'm grandma status for like a minute now, and I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Whenever.
My dad became a grandpa.
What?
Let's see. I'm trying to think how old. Yeah, he was your age. 43.
Wow.
I think when my daughter was born.
I'm not 43. I'm 34.
34. Okay. So sorry about that.
Yeah. I remember my dirty 30s. My dirty 30s were so fun. Then I hit 40 and I was like, what the hell? Yeah. So is Eric going to join us?
Yeah. I don't know what is taking him. I'm like, I haven't even read the docs. Did you send him the invite?
I've just been over here trying to make a thumbnail, and then I don't even know where I uploaded it at. That's what takes me the longest. So I sent it to you, and I was like, somebody can help. So I put up an old one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like Julie Rowe, bringing up old shit. Anyways, how about that?
Or anybody.
Oh, scary old human.
Okay. Anyways. He said he didn't get the invite.
Okay. All right. Well, if you'll talk to everybody.
Yes, I will go to comments. And
Megan says, read them out loud.
Wait, I'm so confused.
Why? Join the rest of us.
I'm confused at what is going on in the chat. Wait, I'm so confused.
What?
She's alive. She's in the hospital.
She's in the hospital. Okay. Oh. All right.
Well, that still sucks.
Okay.
But
okay. But that's, you can't come back from another one. Oh God, KJ, I'm sorry. Again. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. I just kind of got a feeling like if the kids would have came back, alive, like that would have been like the best outcome. I know that has nothing to freak you out. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm about to leave the chat. I'm about to leave.
No, I'll go through. Abort mission.
Okay.
I wish that was possible to do, and then to take the pen, like in what's that show with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones?
Men in Black.
Yeah, and do that. Just be like, just kidding, you never saw it.
Right. I think that happens in some.
Someone's yelling at me from the other room. I can't hear you. Men in Black, that's what she yelled.
Yeah. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh. Never mind.
No, I can't hear.
I've got to focus. All right. So chat amongst yourselves, and I'm going to just be doing some housekeeping.
Yes.
Jen, tell it.
I'm in my office because I'm not allowed to use the normal place. So, because it's occupied.
Yeah. They come back.
Yes, they do.
Honestly.
Who's in the... Oh, she's in the ICU. Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm glad it's not the other way, though. Jesus Christ. But prayers are with you. I don't know. I got buffaloed just now. I'm literally buffaloed. I was like, what? I was running out of there.
That's okay. We've all been buffaloed. Let's see. Oh, I like what KG said. And thank you, Kathy. That was really nice. Oh, wait. Were you saying to the L Mom's wife? Well, thank you. Thank you anyway. I didn't see that you were talking to her. But we're pretty much a unit. Not that kind of unit. But...
Okay, I need his damn email address. Because I'm just... Okay, just go ahead, carry on.
You want me to type it to you?
There you go.
Did you get it?
On my phone, or don't type it to my phone?
No.
Like, I'm in the email, just... Oh, crap. I'll find it. Just go ahead.
Okay. All right.
It'll
I'll
take me
go
longer.
through. Oh, the albums. I was laughing at Krisha in the handcuffs. Okay. That's funny, honey.
Not bad for Five Below.
So the reason to disqualify, we haven't talked about that yet. In fact, I haven't even read these. Like Eric sent them to me, and then he sent them to you, right? He sent them to both of us, and I was like, "Yeah, on your channel."
Is it the 71 at Gmail? That one?
Let me just see. Oh, he's got his other email. Okay, wait, hold on.
I think it's this one.
We all have like 30 million emails. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, on accident.
Yeah, I have like 7.
Okay, that one I haven't heard from that one since October 8th, so that's not it.
KJ. Oh, I can't click on the comments, but KJ just said.
You're an admin.
It won't be. Because you know what? You sent that admin to my other email and not this one, and it was going to make me create a new account.
You have to be quicker than that.
I'm not quick, girl. So, but KJ said, yes, I'm usually the one who shits in my own shoe. It's all good. Oh my God.
Not. No, you're not.
You guys could see my face right now. I don't know why that's so funny, but I needed to laugh.
It is funny.
That's a good one.
What? Whatever. Shit in one hand, fill up the other, and clap.
Oh.
And then shit gets everywhere. You know,
Southern
none of them get filled up faster. It just implodes.
Bread Love Not Hate said, I became a grandma at 36. Now I'm 51.
Oh,
10.
Like my
Love
mom,
them all like crazy.
My mom was, let's see, about the same age, 36, except I'm older. She's 17 years older than me. And I'm 43. She's 60. She'll be 61 on the 19th of January, which is the day after. Where's DJ Norman? The day after Alex Cox's birthday, and I think Melanie Gibbs' birthday is the same day as my son's, which is January 1st. And I think Julie Ho, she's like Julie, January 6th or the 8th, one or the other. But I can't remember an email. How about that?
Okay, I'm reading these documents for the first time.
Okay, you want me to share my screen or?
Can you? Well, I can share mine if you can't. I've got them up, ready to go. I just wanted to read it. I wanted Eric to read them because he's the one that got them.
I know. So okay, help me. Give me will you please send me his address so I can please do this?
Yeah.
Please.
Let me.
Mother, may I?
Mother, may I? Okay.
Mother, may I?
Am I just gonna text it to you?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't want. It's a secret.
Well, it's not just that. I'm like, can I? Yeah, and then I have my new phone, and everything is just crazy.
Okay, it's there. It's on its way.
Gotcha, mate. Gotcha. Thank you.
I know.
Carry on. I mean, how's your day? How was
my day?
Was it Christmas?
Okay, so you guys have to listen to the whole story because it's gonna sound a little weird.
We're whole asking.
I literally chased a homeless guy through a parking lot.
That's just wrong.
So I'll tell you the story. So we had to go to Costco today, and there is often a man there who is homeless. He has a walker, and I see him there. And I haven't been there in a while. That we were going in today. We drove in the driveway thing, and I saw him. And then we had to get our prescriptions. And then I was like, oh, like I thought I had money, so then we got gas, and I thought I had money. Yes, I know the whole panhandling argument. I know what everybody's.
I drop it anyways too. I'm like, whatever.
But I didn't have cash, and so we had to drive by, and I like couldn't make eye contact. Like I feel so awkward because I'm going, this guy's freezing his ass off. He has this like walker thing, and so like we were driving away, and I was like, I can't not give him something to my daughter. And she's like, what are you gonna do? And I go, I gotta go to the bank. I gotta get money out. Like I can't just leave this guy. You know, he's you know, elderly, and when he smiled, he didn't have teeth, and so I'm just like,
he didn't have his Christmas cheer, and you.
Well, he always smiles and everything, and like if I usually keep like a couple dollars in my glove box just for that situation.
Yeah, me too.
And so we drove 15 minutes away because I was like, I don't know where my bank is. And so we went to Target. We had to go to Target, pick up some stuff. I got the, you know, cash back, and then we drove back there. We stopped at Dutch Brothers. We only have like one here. And I got him a hot chocolate. And then, so we came back and he wasn't there. I was like, well, how far could he have walked? And so we like go around and I don't see him. And like this Costco is kind of like by a mall parking lot and like an eatery type of thing. And I'm like, we got to find him. Like, and then we're driving down the street, like down the busy street. And all of a sudden my daughter, and she always does this when she's giving the order. She goes, oh, there he is right there. And like points behind her. I'm like, what? So I like pull the car over into, like, I look like I'm a crazy lady. Pull the car in, but then he was in a place that like I couldn't get to. And then I'm trying to like drive to get to it. I get to it, and then he's gone again. And I'm like, what do you want to do his help?
Like, bye.
And then I see he's walking down like the road, and he's got his walker, and he's going as fast as he can. But then there's like cars behind him.
I'm a gingerbread man.
And finally she's like, just pull over. So I like pulled over, and he was a little ahead of me. And I'm like, oh, he can't be going that fast, right? Oh, he could book it with that thing. And he's still disabled, but I
like, he didn't all of a sudden get like undisabled.
No. Definitely disabled. I could tell. But I just like ran after him, and finally I start yelling. I'm like, hey, dude! And he like turns. I'm like, I'm sorry. Here.
I just want to give you some money.
Yeah, I'm like, and normally like what sucks when we were going to Target, I'm like, okay, we'll get some hand warmers and some boot warmers too, because he probably needs those. And then we forgot. And so I'm like, maybe I can come back tomorrow. And my daughter's like, no, you're fine. So that is my story. I literally did chase this poor guy down. And usually our shelters are so full, and we have such a problem, and I just like.
Same here, sister. Ever since the spirit sister, whatever. Ever since the 2 hurricanes, I mean, their families living in tents, and I can't stand it. Oh my God. I remember one time we like totally packed up these people, and Jason was like, Krisha, they live in a tent. And I was like, but then she might need a notebook and a pen and a paper because she might get bored like me. And he was like, I know, but he was like, cops come and they run them away. And I was like, that's bull.
Yeah.
Which it is. It's bull. So I was like all packing them up. And air mattresses and whatever. Blankets.
Harry Reid died?
Who? Who?
Harry Reid.
Who's that?
He was a senator.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
I called him Grandpa Reid. I actually don't really know what his. He was serving. I shouldn't say that. That's kind of like insulting. But he was a senator like before I really started like informing myself. So I don't know if I would have liked him or not. Policy wise, I should say that. Policy wise, I actually like a lot of people that have different views on policy than me.
Yes.
That's so sad, DJ Norman. I'm sad. I'm sad when anyone dies.
All right, I'm bringing Eric in. Okay,
Yay.
Eric, no shenanigans with the wall. You and Jen got it down. So
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
happy birthday.
What's up, everybody?
No more of this mofo.
Do you want me to
Wow.
pull up the memorandum?
Huh?
Is that the one we want to look at? The memorandum? Or
I
the
would do-
Hey Eric, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I just want to hug y'all.
Yeah. I'm just now starting to calm down a little bit.
I was in the dollar store and Mom called y'all. I was like, okay, gotta go.
Yeah, it was insanity for about 30 minutes.
That's so
Complete
awesome. That's so awesome.
insanity.
He can. That means that Mark Means can dedicate all of his time and everything to being Lori's advocate. Lord knows she needs a couple. She doesn't use up all the angels.
I shared my screen, but I think you have to approve it.
Okay, I don't know how to do all that.
I think you just have to add it into the stream.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, there we go.
Merrily. Okay, let me take
look
this
at you
ticker
all.
down. Let me take this
That's
ticker.
the memorandum. I also have the disclosure, the authorizing of that one, the disclosure of sealed information.
I'd lead off with that one first, Jen, because it kind of leads into this one.
All right, I'm gonna stop this one then. Stop. Okay, 1 second.
I gotta take that stupid thing off.
I'm digging
the
this.
frame?
Huh?
I'm digging this. Your screen. It's awesome.
Oh,
I know.
All
right, it's up for you.
Oh, okay. You gotta try to say names because I don't know.
Oh,
Hey, I go by hey girl or
you.
All right. Yeah, let me remove this overlay that way. Can y'all see real good, or let me remove it because it's just bothering me. Go ahead, carry on.
Oh no, like I'm gonna read these.
Good.
Like if I scroll up, I don't want to go too fast. So can someone watch? I'm gonna move you guys over. If I start scrolling too fast, yell.
I had a teacher and did that in our planetarium. We were like, spin the stars in a dark room. Oh my god. It was like my first drunk experience, I guess. So you're not gonna read?
Oh. Okay, teacher, I will. Order authorizing. Oh, that's right, because people listen and they tell me all the time. They're like, "Can you actually read?" We can't. We don't know what you're talking about. All right. So, in response, this is the order authorizing disclosure of sealed information. State of Idaho versus Vallow Daybell. In response to the issue by the state requesting a finding of a conflict of interest in attorney Mark Means' continued representation of the defendant, the court has issued a decision and order contemporaneous with this order. In making this ruling, the court has determined that portions of previously sealed documents are required to be unsealed as particular facts from those documents are incorporated into the decision on the state's motion, which decision is not sealed. Okay. The court, I'm kind of skip over the parts I think are important. So the court finds it necessary for the court on its own motion to unseal portions of certain documents in Fremont County case, blah, 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 as well as Fremont County case, blah, blah, blah. I'm assuming one case is Chad's and one is Lori's on these case numbers.
Yeah.
We just have to assume because blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
0838's her old case, or 0838's her old case number, and the other one is his old case number.
Okay.
I remember right.
So the court finds it necessary to unseal portions of the state's July 27, 2021 motion filed in this case titled motion and memorandum objecting to counsel's entry of appearance and for a finding of conflict to accompany the decision and order filed contemporaneously herewith. Okay.
And keep in mind, y'all, that this isn't this. The state didn't write these. These were written by Judge Boyce.
Woo-hoo! Finally, he put that pen to action.
Yes.
Nothing else was going.
Okay. The court finds at this time a public interest, hell yeah, prevails over a prior order preventing the dissemination of such information. Additionally, the court finds that no reasonable alternative exists to promote a fair and orderly judicial proceeding other than to permit the disclosure and dissemination of information as set forth in the decision and order issued in response to the state's motion. Therefore, the dissemination and disclosures of information as contained in the decision and order issued as of today's date are unsealed, limited to only that information contained in the court's decision and order. This is my favorite part. I love to read these. It is so ordered. December 28th, 2021. Every time I read a legal brief, I'm always like, it is so ordered. Okay.
Yeah, I'm already sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to get that document he's talking about. It's sealed.
You can do it. You broke someone in Wayne County, Utah. You can do it. I still cannot believe. Okay. This is the new one, Crusher. You can pull it up.
Do you want a break, or do you want me to read some?
Yeah, you can.
A breather?
Yeah. Go ahead. This is the memorandum, decision, and order disqualifying counsel, aka Marky Mark.
Oh, I'm sure that you guys will be glad to know that I did send Mark Means a copy of this to make sure he got his copy.
We know you did. Mark the Mad Hatter Means what? Nothing.
Okay.
Probably.
Introduction. On July 27th, 2021, plaintiff state of Ohio filed a motion objecting to the entry of Mr. Means as counsel for defendant Lori Daybell and requested this court to conduct an inquiry into whether Mr. Means had a non-waivable conflict to deny the entry of Mr. Means as counsel in the case and to appoint capital counsel for Vallow. To support its motion, the state filed a memo including 3 exhibits and an excerpt of sealed findings of fact entered in case 0838. Afterward, the court heard the parties in a closed hearing on September the 8th, where the state submitted Exhibit 4, an audio file of an April 28th, 2020 recorded jail call between Vallow and Daybell for in-camera review. Thereafter, the court determined an inquiry was necessary to assist the court in determining the merits of the state's contentions that Mr. Means' ability to adequately represent his client were compromised due to the alleged conflict. As a result, on April 8th, 2021, the court conducted an in-camera inquiry with Vallow's co-defendant, Chad Guy Daybell, to ascertain whether Mr. Means had ever represented Daybell such that the purported representation rose to the level of an actual conflict and whether the conflict was waivable or non-waivable. Daybell is currently represented by attorney John Pryor in case 1623, who was present with Daybell during the inquiry. Having considered all of the submitted briefing in both Fremont County case numbers 1623 and 24, as well as the finding of facts and conclusions of law entered by the magistrate in case 0838, where this issue previously arose, and having heard the parties in multiple hearings address the concerns raised by the state, the court orders now as follows. Factual and procedural background. At the outset, this court has considered and reviewed the findings of fact entered by the magistrate on July 31st, 2020, in case 0838, and determined those findings to be accurate, as those findings were made in a sealed document, and the court having found that good cause exists to disseminate portions of that document in consideration of this decision, the magistrate's findings are included herein verbatim as follows. Findings of fact. Lori and Chad were married on November 5th, 2019. B. At the time of their marriage, Lori Vallow had 2 minor children, Joshua J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan. C. On February 20, 2020, Lori was arrested in Hawaii with 2 counts of felony desertion of a child, as well as misdemeanor charges of resisting and obstructing of an officer, solicitation of a crime, and contempt of court under Madison County jurisdiction. D. Rexburg law enforcement took Lori into custody on March 4th, 2020, and she was extradited from Hawaii to Idaho. E. Lori retained Mr. Means. The exact date is unknown. Then there's a cliff note under that, Jen, if you scroll back up. Let me make sure. Yeah, let me see. Purposes of the inclusion analysis in this case. Okay, yeah, let me read that. The magistrate's findings of fact and conclusions of law were entered in case 0838 on July 31st, 2020, and were sealed. The court has considered Idaho Criminal Code 32 in determining that those findings of fact are to be unsealed at this time for purposes of inclusion in the analysis in this case, and has issued a contemporaneous order. I probably butchered that.
It sounded better.
In conjunction with this decision, which disseminates a portion of that sealed document. In addition, this decision references the state's July 27, 2021 motion and memo objecting to counsel's entry of appearance and for finding of conflict filed under seal in this case, portions of which are also disseminated herein pursuant to ICAR 32 order. Okay.
I'm sorry, I threw that banner up for Sandwell to let her know that Mark Means has been disqualified from my Auntie Satan's case. He's been dismissed.
Mark Means has been disqualified due to a conflict of interest.
He is a conflict of interest.
F. On March 21st, 2020, Chad retained Mr. Pryor, who works in the same building complex as Mr. Means. G. Sorry. On March 24th, 2020, according to Mr. Pryor, or March 31st, 2020, according to the document submitted, Lori and Chad signed a conflict of interest waiver, meaning they're waiving the conflict of interest to be represented by the same guy. H. On April 28th, 2020, Mr. Means posted the following on Twitter. Please note that this office notice being provided by other means as well, and that's in what's that called, parentheses?
Yeah.
Represents Mr. Chad Daybell. If any agency, investigative authority, etc., wish to contact my client, please contact my office directly. And that's in quotes. I, on April 28th, 2020, Mr. Means sent a press release stating the following. Please take notice that this office represents Mr. Chad Daybell. Please direct all requests for communications / statements of the like to his office, to this office. J, on April 28, 2020, Lori and Chad had a visit via telephone tablet in the Madison County Jail. During this conversation, Chad stated, Mark Means is my attorney. Chad alluded he had shared confidential information with Mr. Means that Chad believed would be covered by attorney-client privilege. The video recording also suggested that Chad believed he would not have to testify against Lori if Mr. Means represented them both. That didn't age well, Chad. Didn't age well. Didn't age well.
Nor does Lori.
Not without her filler and her Botox, but that's neither do I. So,
Anyways, other things that are dragging. Anyways.
Okay. On May 2nd, 2020, Mr. Means told the court
For my birthday.
during a bail reduction hearing in Madison County for Lori that he represented both Lori and Chad. L, on June 9, 2020, a search warrant was executed on Chad's property. M, during the search, Chad called Mr. Means before calling Mr. Pryor. So there's a nugget that we didn't know, or at least I didn't. Did anybody else know that?
That he called Mr. Means? Wait, what?
Chad called Means before he called Pryor the day they found the kids.
Yeah. Remember Ray Hermosillo said that he was on the phone looking over his shoulder, and then whenever Chad and Lori made the jailhouse phone call during his preliminary hearing, he said he was like, when he was eating the phone, like a freaking 1-year-old teething.
Yeah.
Anyways, and he was like, maybe call Mark Means.
I completely forgot that. So sorry, guys. That's
Do you remember?
Let's see. N, based on the findings from the search warrant on June 10th, 2020, Chad was charged with 2 counts of felony destruction, alteration, or concealment of evidence under Idaho 2603. These charges were amended on June 30th, 2020 to include 2 felony counts of conspiracy to destroy or conceal evidence. Lori was listed in the criminal complaint as a co-conspirator. Oh, Lori was charged with everything Chad was. This court has made additional inquiries and reviewed facts set forth in the record in this case since the time of the magistrate's findings, and therefore, in addition to the magistrate's findings, considers the following. On February 20th, 2020, Vallow was arrested and charged with 2 counts of felony desertion of a child and several misdemeanors in connection with the disappearance of Vallow's 2 minor children. Tylee Ryan, you got to be kidding me. Tylee,
My new phone is doing that. Thank you, Lynette Burns. Sorry. But my new phone, as much as I've typed Tylee, my new phone I'm like, oh, hell no. Here we go with the Tyler. It does that.
Okay.
At least they're not TR and JV.
Yeah.
That
So
me.
it says Tylee Ryan and JJ, or 2 minor children, Tylee Ryan and JJ. Initially, Vallow was represented by Sean Bartholic. However, Bartholic notified the state that in the event Vallow was charged with a crime, he would not represent her. Sometime in late February or early March, Chad Daybell retained Mr. Means and paid a sum of money to him to represent his wife, Lori Daybell. Mr. Means entered his appearance as Lori's counsel on March 4th, 2020 in case 0302, which is the case that's in front of Judge Mallard that's been laying there for over 2 years.
The one where he cackled for 20 hours
Yeah, where he was on the Adderall rant.
with the bandana. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, on March 24, 2020, as co-counsel with two other attorneys, which I remember the females, but I don't remember the guy's name.
Edens.
No,
Edwina Cox.
Yeah, Edwina
and Webb.
Yeah, Webb.
I got this.
Okay.
Oh, whoops. Did you get all the way to the end?
No, I'm trying to find my spot. It says later that month, on March 21st, 2020, attorney John Pryor began representing Daybell. Mr. Pryor previously confirmed that representation date to Magistrate Judge Edens, although no written notice of appearance had been filed as of that date by Mr. Pryor because Daybell had no case pending against him at that time. Subsequent to Mr. Means entering his appearance, establishing his representation of Vallow, and also after the date Mr. Pryor indicated he represented Daybell, on April 28, 2020, Mr. Means communicated to the public through social media that he represented Chad Daybell. The communication states, "Please not sick that this office, notice being provided by other means as well, represents Mr. Chad Daybell. If any agency, investigative authority, etc., wishes to contact my client, contact my office directly." The message originated from Mark Means Law, and neither the content nor the source of the communication has been disputed. Further, Mr. Means emailed Prosecutor Rob Wood asking him to provide a press release stating that Mr. Means represented Chad Daybell and to direct investigation efforts relating to Daybell or Vallow to him. Mr. Means published a press release directly in its in-camera inquiry. The court also, in its in-camera inquiry, the court also reviewed a phone call recorded from the Madison County Jail. The call demonstrates that on April 28, 2020, Daybell and Vallow spoke to one another while Vallow was in custody. During the phone call, Daybell indicated that Mr. Means was Daybell's attorney, and Daybell also knew that Mr. Means was concurrently Vallow's attorney. That means that Mr. Means, okay, and then go on down, Jim.
Oh, sorry.
I'm trying to hurry. I know you are dying.
No, I got this. I just got sounds. Sorry.
That Mr. Means represented Vallow at that time is also clear, as noted by the previously referenced notice of appearance filed in her case. Daybell also stated he was eventually going with, quote unquote, the other guy, ostensibly referring to Mr. Pryor. After that call, on or about May 1st, 2020, a bail hearing was held in Vallow's case. At that hearing, Mr. Means stood up and said, "I might not be the most seasoned attorney." He didn't really say that. He did say that, but that's not
I
what
hope the hell he did. In my mind, he did.
At that hearing, Mr. Means represented to the magistrate judge that he represented Daybell as well as Vallow. Therefore, on June 9, 2020, a search warrant was executed on the property that led to the location and recovery of JJ and Tylee. The state submits that upon law enforcement's arrival at Daybell's property, Daybell called Mr. Means and asked law enforcement officers to speak with Mr. Means about the warrant. It is undisputed that Daybell called Mr. Means. However, after its in-camera inquiry of Daybell, the court determines that there is a dispute about the content of the call. Daybell was arrested that day in connection to the ongoing investigation into the death of JJ and Tylee and charged with felony counts in case 0755, which is no longer even around. On or about June 30th, 2020, Fremont County Magistrate Judge Edens inquired of Mr. Means whether he had ever represented any co-conspirator listed in the complaint attached to Fremont County 0838 case. Mr. Means denied that he had represented anyone other than Vallow. His position was unpersuasive, and Judge Edens found that Mr. Means had represented both Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow Daybell. Judge Edens ruled that there was a conflict of interest stemming from Means' concurrent representation. However, Judge Edens concluded that given the nature and tenor of the specific charges in that case, the conflict was waivable provided the defendants furnished valid waivers to the court. Judge Edens expressly stated his order accepting the waivers was limited to the proceedings in case 0838. There is some question about the validity of the waiver Mr. Means furnished to the court. Ultimately, it is not dispositive to the issue of the conflict in the present case and need not be discussed further at this time. On March 2nd, 2021, Mr. Means filed a request for Vallow to be evaluated pursuant to Idaho Code 18211 and submitted the bill on the examination to Fremont County. The state challenged that action because Vallow had not been declared indigent. On May 21st, 2021, this court determined Vallow was unable to pay for the evaluation and Vallow was declared indigent. On May 24th, 2021, the grand jury returned an indictment charging Daybell and Vallow as co-conspirators in the death of Tylee Ryan, JJ Vallow, and Tammy Daybell. The charges for murder in the first degree carry maximum penalties of death. On May 26th, the defendants appeared in the magistrate court in Fremont County for an initial appearance. Daybell appeared with counsel, John Pryor, and his case was set out. Before Vallow was set to appear on the record, the court determined she had a pending Idaho Code crazy evaluation coming up, and that because her competency was in question in another case, the state's request for counsel to be appointed would not be considered at that time. On June 8th, 2021, the court found Vallow not competent to stand trial and remanded Vallow to the Department of IDHW for treatment to attempt to restore competency. On July 27th, 2021, under seal, the state filed its motion objecting to the appearance of Mr. Means in the case and raised several issues, including the concern that Mr. Means was not death penalty certified counsel and that as a declared indigent, Vallow had a statutory right to appointed counsel. Accordingly, the court appointed James Archibald to serve as co-counsel to Mr. Means while the court assessed the conflict issue raised by the state. Acknowledging that Vallow's case was stayed on account of her treatment to restore competency, the court nevertheless held a hearing where counsel for both Daybell and Vallow
I got lost again.
I'm just listening.
Are we on page 6 still?
going up
Or
right
7?
right there were present on September 8th, 2021, and ordered Daybell to appear for an inquiry to resolve the conflict issue. Daybell and his attorney prior submitted to this court on October 8th, 2021, for an in-camera inquiry. Meanwhile, Mr. Means has continued to file pleadings in Vallow's case number 1624 as sworn declarations, signing his name under penalty of perjury to attest to facts that Mr. Means has furnished to the court. Notably, Mr. Means filed a declared motion on October 27th where he conveyed information he obtained from his client, Vallow, as the declarant and swore under penalty of perjury the veracity of the statements contained herein. And it says legal authority, duty of inquiry. The court has a duty to inquire about attorney conflicts of interest when it is made aware of particulars of one. Whenever a trial court knows or reasonably should know that a particular conflict may exist, the trial court has a duty of inquiry. This inquiry is required when the court knows or reasoning. No, why do they repeat the same damn thing?
It's like
No,
body cam
or
footage says that to me.
or reasonably should know that a particular conflict exists and is not to be confused with the court being aware of a vague, unspecified possibility of conflict. We can scroll on up now.
It's just to reiterate it, drive it in.
Yeah. If the
At least
court
that's not what I want to hear. Sorry.
No, you're fine. If the court determines that an inquiry is warranted, the court's inquiry must be both searching and targeted at the conflict issue. Failure from the court to conduct an adequate inquiry can serve as a basis for reversal upon an appeal. Sixth Amendment rights. The Sixth Amendment of the Constitution guarantees a criminal defendant the right to legal counsel. This right to counsel was applied to the state prosecutions for felony offenses through the incorporation doctrine. I think we can go on. We can roll on past that. Jen.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
case law and whatnot. And
the right to effective counsel.
Let's stop right there where it says the
Conflict?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Conflict of interest. The decision to grant or deny a motion to disqualify counsel is within the discretion of the trial court. And then they list some case study with it. The moving party has the burden of establishing grounds for the disqualification, where a motion to disqualify comes not from a client or former client of the attorney, but from an opposing party. The motion should be viewed with caution. So what Boyce is saying is, I have looked at everything. I have studied everything. I have studied the case law. I am 100% back and supported by everything by the law that I can disqualify Mark Means without it being an issue. So you roll on up.
Wow.
Okay. Material limited by the lawyer's responsibilities to another client, a former client, or a third person, or by the personal interest of the lawyer. 17 states that even if a concurrent conflict of interest exists, a lawyer may represent a client if, one, The lawyer reasonably believes that the lawyer will be able to provide competent and diligent representation to each affected client. 2, the representation is not prohibited by law. 3, the representation does not involve the assertion of a claim by one client against another client represented by the lawyer in the same litigation or other proceeding before a tribunal. And 4, each affected client gives informed consent, confirmed in writing. To proceed forward, the court must determine whether it knows or has reason to know that a conflict exists. 2, whether an actual conflict of interest exists. And 3, if a conflict exists, is it waivable in the present case? And then there's an analysis. It says death is different, and then gives some case law. Duties of the trial court are many, but the overarching duty is clear: protect all parties' rights to a fair proceeding. Where capital punishment is a legitimate potential, let that soak in. Where capital punishment is a legitimate potential, the court's duties to protect a fair and orderly proceeding are unquestionable. Where capital punishment is a legitimate potential, the court's duties to protect a fair and orderly proceeding are unquestionable. The state has raised the issue of a conflict of interest in Mr. Means' ongoing representation of Vallow. The court has not taken these allegations lightly, nor has it been hasty. Damn sure it hadn't been since July, it sounds like. Nor has it been hasty to render a decision about the issue, instead conducting hearings and in-camera inquiry and striving in all aspects to render justice and protect the interest of all parties during these proceedings. Further, the case at bar is stayed pursuant to orders previously issued under Idaho Code 18211 and 212 after we found out she was fucking nuts. Sorry.
It was effing worth it.
Sorry, y'all, but I had to get that one out of me.
That's okay. Shake it off.
Competent to proceed. Procedurally, this case is in its infancy. Well, that's nice to know.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I'll be elderly in no time.
Procedurally, this case is in its infancy, where Vallow has yet to be. She hasn't even given a plea yet, y'all. She hasn't even got to say guilty or not guilty. So,
she can't handle the truth.
all right.
She
Where
can't.
Vallow has yet to be arraigned due to the incompetency finding and subsequent stay in the case. However, this case commenced with an indictment issued May 25th, 2021, and thus the issue of a potential conflict has persisted for several months, notwithstanding the stay of the case. Further, while the case is currently stayed, the court has considered the regularity with which pleadings continue to be filed by the parties, and thus the court determines that the matter is ripe for determination at this time. 1. The court has reason to know that a conflict exists. The state has, on several occasions, raised the issue of its allegation of a conflict and brought the issue to this court formally through a motion filed July 27, 2021. The court held hearings relating to the issue and ultimately conducted an in-camera inquiry into what defendant Chad Daybell knew and or understood with respect to the possible conflict of Mr. Means' concurrent representation. Both defendants Daybell and Vallow, through counsel, have acknowledged the issue, which was brought to the forefront of the case when it was determined by the court that an in-camera inquiry was necessary and was conducted. Thus, the court has a well-founded reason to know that there is a concern that a conflict exists. 2. An actual conflict of interest still exists in the case at bar as found by Magistrate Judge Edens in a related case. This issue has been thoroughly addressed in an earlier case brought against Vallow. This court has also additionally analyzed the issue and reviewed the record in regards to the conflict issue. Taking all of that into account, the court finds that the record demonstrates that Mr. Means, in his capacity as a licensed Idaho attorney, represented Mr. Daybell between April 2020 and June 2020. The record is also clear that Daybell and Vallow are now charged as co-conspirators with multiple felony counts, including charges of murder, and that Mr. Means is Vallow's current counsel of record. Finally, the indictment Finally, the indictment issued in cases 1623 and 1624 sets forth alleged overt acts relating to the alleged conspiracy between Daybell and Vallow that occurred on or between October 26, 2018 and June 9, 2020, which time frame includes the time when Mr. Means represented Daybell. Thus, Thus, the court concludes that Mr. Means concurrently represented the co-defendants in those cases within the time frame of the alleged conspiracy. In previously determining that there was an actual conflict of interest on account of Mr. Means' former representation of Chad Daybell, Judge Edens held that given the fact that 1, the defendants had since retained separate counsel, and importantly, number 2, that the charges contemplated in that case carried a maximum penalty of 5 years of prison and thus did not rise to the serious nature where a defendant could not rationally choose concurrent counsel, that the conflict could be waived in that case. The record reflects that Judge Edens questioned conflicting information provided to the court about the date of the waivers and whether they had been properly executed. Judge Edens emphasized that acceptance of the waivers, even if dubious, was expressly limited to the case before him, and that should be a subsequent case or subsequent charges be filed with more severe penalties, the waiver would likely not be honored and a per se conflict would need to be addressed. So when their charges got bumped up to murder, that agreement that they had, it got torn up and thrown in the trash.
It got quashed.
Yeah.
Weird word.
Thus, nothing has served to cure the actual conflict which has carried into the present case, based on Mr. Means' concurrent representation of Daybell and Vallow and the timing of that representation. It is clear that the defendant's previous cases arose from some of the same facts and occurrences the state has alleged to be at the root of the pending murder charges in this case, which indisputably elicits a heightened scrutiny given the potential for the death penalty to be brought herein. Given the potential for the death penalty to be brought herein. Given the potential for the death penalty to be brought herein. Are you listening, Janice? Are you listening, Summer? Are you listening?
I'm listening, and I'm doing a
No,
couple.
no, I said I'm talking about Janice and Summer.
Oh,
I didn't
I thought you
Sammy
renamed.
and Mummy.
say
Sammy and Mummy.
Okay.
no, okay, you gotta go back down because you got it way ahead of me.
Whoa, I don't want to be a part of this.
Is
I
that
wanted
it?
to, I wanted to, I wanted to get, I wanted that to just drive that home to Janice and Summer. You
Hey,
know what I
Mom.
mean?
Hey, Mommy.
I
Not,
wanted to really just bury that in deep.
wait,
Um,
where'd my mom go? There's my mom. How do you feel, Mom? Whoop, whoop.
hey Kay, how are you?
Your mom. She's probably jumping
I can't see
up
the.
for joy.
Oh, I can't see the chat. That's why I'm like, what are?
I put it on the screen. Can
It
you
is
see
a,
it?
it
I've
is a
got this
great.
screenshot like covering it, so I just hi.
One word, Mom. One word. What? Okay. Well, 3. Happy, happy, happy. Yay. I'm so pumped.
Happy.
What
Absolutely.
about Pops? I know Pops is proud. Is happy. Happy, happy, happy.
I'm
Oh,
so
man.
glad.
Y'all, we have 210 people in chat. I just want to say thank you. First off,
How many? How many?
210.
Well, 208 now. Damn it.
Wow. Well, hi everybody in chat.
Most ever.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah,
thank you for
that's
narrating.
awesome.
And because I'm over here just I'm doing envelopes so I can mail out some new bracelets.
Yay. I'm so
I'm like,
excited. I'm
I might
so
as well-
excited.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
I'll keep
Um,
wearing my other one, but I'm really excited to get the
yeah,
one.
they actually came early. I can't believe they were supposed to be here tomorrow, but they got here on the 23rd, and so there's that.
Awesome.
So now we can start getting those out to everybody. And they say justice for Tylee, JJ, Charles, until I'm crawling before I walk, and then we can add everybody. And on the inside it says love always wins.
Yes.
So anyways, so there's that. But I'm glad that Mom came to join, or Mom and Dad. I know they're here.
Yeah.
Love the
Me
bracelet.
too.
Thank you.
yeah, the break. Yeah.
So thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for you and Jen and Eric and Jen. We just kind of threw this together, and yeah.
Yeah, it was go back down the other way, Jim.
The other way. Okay, sorry. I'm really not good at this job.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I can because I know where I stopped. That's good right there.
Okay.
Okay, so we still have some reading to do, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get the show on the road then.
We're on page 12 of 17. In previously determining there was an actual conflict of interest on account of Mr. Means' former representation of Chad Daybell, Judge Edens held that given the fact that the defendants had since retained separate counsel and importantly, that the charges contemplated in that case carried a maximum of 5. No, I already read that. I'm sorry, Jim. I told you wrong. Thus, nothing has served to cure the actual conflict, which has carried into the present case based on Mr. Means' current representation of both and the timing of the representation. It is clear that the defendant's previous cases arose from the same circumstances and occurrences the state has alleged to be at the root of the pending murder charges in this case, which indisputably elicits a heightened scrutiny given the potential for the death penalty to be brought herein. Further, the defendants were charged together in a single indictment in their pending cases and are both charged as co-conspirators. 3. Given the maximum possible penalties associated with the charges in the conspiracy case, including the death penalty, the conflict of Mr. Means' lawyer, Mr. Means' former representation of Chad Daybell, cannot be waived as it triggers a per se ineffective assistance of counsel concern. The court is aware that both Daybell and Vallow proffered a waiver of their right to conflict-free counsel in case 0838, where Judge Edens found an actual conflict but allowed the waiver. However, the cases now before the court are way more different and require a new analysis. Further, even were this court able to determine that a waiver offered here was effective as knowing, intelligent, and voluntary, a defendant's waiver is not dispositive or dispositive, whatever that is, of a conflict inquiry, because courts have an independent interest in ensuring that criminal trials are conducted within the ethical standards of the profession and that legal proceedings appear fair to all who observe them. The court finds an actual conflict. Daybell indicated in the court's inquiry that he never believed Mr. Means was his attorney. Wow. He did, however, acknowledge that he had previously talked to Mr. Means and called Mr. Means when the search warrant was executed on his property. This occurred prior to the arrest and subsequent charging of Daybell for the murders of Tylee and JJ and Tammy. That acknowledged communication between Mr. Means and Daybell, in conjunction with the previously noted representations Mr. Means himself made, indicating he represented Daybell, led the court to conclude that Mr. Means did represent Daybell, although the extent of the representation is unclear, because Daybell and
Sorry. Oh my gosh. I was reading it
Vallow,
along with you. My Adderall has worn off. Jesus
Drink a
Christ.
Coke and it'll kick it right back in.
and Vallow are named co-conspirators necessarily. They have interests adverse to one another, and each has a right to counsel who is free to zealously advocate for each of them independently without the ability being hampered by a conflict of interest. The Sixth Amendment guarantees each criminal defendant the right to assistance of counsel unhindered by a conflict of interest. We know that. Another consideration weighs into this decision. Janice, Summer, I'm going to holler at y'all right here just real quick.
Some in, mommy.
Shout out to you just real quick. Another consideration weighs into this decision. Capital charges are more than a mere possibility in Vallow's case.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. As such, Vallow has the right. I'm trying to hurry. I know Chris is about to yank my.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm over here
That's
chilling like a villain.
As such, Vallow has the right to death penalty qualified counsel. If she is represented by a public defender, Mr. Means is not presently certified to represent clients in capital cases. Because death is different, this court must ensure that every critical stage of her case, she is represented by counsel who is able to zealously and competently advocate for her dumbass, or on her behalf. I'm sorry. If and when Vallow is restored to competency, the court could conduct an inquiry into her interest in waiving qualified counsel. However, until such time, this court's duty to protect her rights remain. The court has determined the best protection for her exists in the appointment of a death penalty qualified defender we know is now James Archibald. This decision came in part because Mr. Means wasn't qualified. Further, her commitment for the Department of IDHW with it a presumption of indigency that further led the court to determine that it was necessary to issue the order appointing Mr. Archibald as co-counsel. Finally, the very actions taken by Mr. Means raised questions about his ability to continue in his representation of Vallow. I like how Judge Boyd still calls her Vallow too. Huh? What do you think about that?
I don't like it. Well, everyone knows how I feel about that.
If I don't have to hear AKA, 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 I'm about AKA'd out. I'll get an AK-47 and take
I just
care
think
of it all.
Laura Hort is more appropriate.
Laura Hort is the most beautiful. It's eloquent. It just rolls off the tongue.
It just flows, don't it? Just flows
It
right
just
out.
Flizzo's. Yep, it sure does.
Ebbing and flowing. You know?
Kind of like they're bewitched. Crap.
Is that a word? Concomitant, Jen or Crusher?
Yeah, I think it's like
Where's it at?
withstanding or
Where are we at?
concomitant.
Right after word.
Mom's good at that.
Standing.
Concomitant. Mom, we need your help.
Co-commitment. There you go. We'll just roll with it.
Oh yeah, because subtract. Okay.
Yeah, Jen. Yeah.
Concomitant to a conflict analysis is an analysis of whether the decisions of counsel demonstrate their ability to uphold their duties to clients.
Oh, I lied. So sorry. It says concomitant, naturally accompanying or associated, or let me just make sure. Yeah. Okay.
Rainy April says root word is commit.
Yeah. So I said withstand. Okay.
Mom says spell like Lori, and then COMITANT. Who has a mouse?
I have a mouse.
There you go.
Want me to? There.
Now, Mom, say it where we can hear you. Call me.
Come on, Mom.
Uncle Charles was like that too. They would challenge themselves, with new words.
Like buffalo.
Concomitant.
Net.
Okay.
I feel more dumb.
No.
Well, I know I am.
We're not attorneys.
No, you're not.
No.
Whom we're talking about, they are dumb. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I ain't got nothing. Anyways, go for it.
Mr. Means has potentially made himself a witness in the case by filing multiple pleadings in the form of declarations containing factual assertions of Mr. Means submitted under penalty of perjury. That unusual manner of practice has further caused the court to be concerned about the effectiveness of Mr. Means' representation of Vallow in the case. Also of concern is a possible intentional or unintentional waiver of Vallow's attorney-client privilege, where Mr. Means has submitted to the record purported facts from statements Vallow made to Mr. Means under the umbrella of the privilege she enjoys while she has been deemed incompetent to proceed. Hey, now, whoa.
Let's all chip in and get her a new pair of knee pads, please. Sorry, had to say it. I have Tourette's, I think, somewhere in there. You're welcome.
Put him under oath, and you depose him, and you find out exactly what she told him, and you'll break her of this incompetence garbage.
No, you just look under the desk and you see if the floor is clean. Okay. Anyways, go ahead. Carry on.
She's like alert status now. So.
Oh man, that's crazy. Were you reading or were you joking?
No, I was reading it.
I'm so sorry about the background sound. My headphones, my earbuds are missing. I think they're very far away, and my thing keeps going off because cars keep driving by. So
he's all about. No, I'm fired up right now. He's all about these subpoenas They need to subpoena his ass and put him under oath and depose him. And let's find out just how incompetent Lori is. Let's find
Yeah.
out what all she just happened to say. Let's do that. Let's try that.
Public court.
But,
Put him on court TV.
Would he tell the truth though? I mean, I think he has delusions sometimes. Seriously, allegedly.
Maybe, hypothetically, in another world.
Right.
This
In an alternate
is
universe.
this is precisely the situation that ethics rules caution against, where the rules stress that lawyers should avoid becoming witnesses in their clients' cases. An actual conflict exists in this case due to Mr. Means' former representation of Chad and the timing of that representation, and Daybell's waiver is insufficient to overcome the risk of harm in allowing Mr. Means to remain counsel to any party connected to this case. Additionally, Mr. Means' practice of submitting declarations under penalty of perjury have called into question his ability to competently and effectively represent Vallow going forward, despite the pending stay in this case. You're not competent, Mark. Finally, the court, in balancing the rights of Vallow to counsel of her choice and her present inability to be thoroughly examined to ascertain whether she could knowingly, intelligently, and meaningfully waive her right to conflict-free qualified counsel, given the potential for a penalty of death she faces in the crimes she is charged with, must cautiously act to protect her rights. On balance, because conflict questions should be addressed by trial courts on a case-by-case basis, where the court takes individual situations into consideration to determine whether a defendant's right to counsel is threatened by competing interests, the decision of the court is to remove Mr. Means as counsel and to continue the appointment of James Archibald as counsel in this case. In conclusion, for the foregoing reasons, the state's motion is granted. Mr. Means is hereby disqualified as of today's date, December 28, 2021, from representing Lori, Noreen, Vallow, Wilson, Jackson, Jones, Smith,
Cook, Reed, and Welch.
Daybell, in Fremont County case CR 2221-1624, and all matters substantially related thereto.
Ooh, can I read the last?
Jen, your 4 words.
It is so ordered.
Bam! And that's me busting the gavel. Over with.
We got his handcuffs. I don't have the keys either, so screw it.
I'm so relieved.
Some old cheap ones.
So relieved.
Oh man.
Because I'm sure people are taking notes. He's so incompetent. I don't want any appeals, or as few as possible.
Yeah, he very well could get kicked out of the bar. He very well could lose his license.
Yeah.
Well, heck, he talks about his clients on Twitter, which I think is
every day. Oh my God, not every day, but I mean, as many times as possible. He has said something. I remember Mom's comeback that one time. I forget really. Oh, I guess because of their documentary, and they showed up to court and they pulled, all their, recording device stuff off or whatever. And he said something, he tweeted about it. And she was like, I wish she was right here to say it because I can't say it as good as she did. But I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about. She was like, I guess, basically, I guess the kids, just ended up in Chad Daybell's yard and buried themselves. I guess that's where y'all are going to go with this also, basically. I just probably screwed that up, but hey, it's what I do. But I mean, it was pretty close. Mom, you can call in if you want to on the phone or something. You can correct me.
I'm going to. Is the Elmom's wife in chat?
What does she go by?
The Elmom's wife.
Oh.
If you're here, plug your ears. Does anyone?
Hello? Hey, Mom. All right. So now, what did you say? Correct me.
Hey, Mom. Hey.
Yeah. Oh, you got to turn it down. Turn it down. Turn it down. Mom, you have to turn the chat down.
I did.
Okay, good. All right. Now, what was it that Mark Means tweeted about? And then you were like, bam. And I was like, wow.
I don't know what.
I think whenever y'all showed up to the courthouse and, in the middle of the documentary stuff and y'all, we're going into the courthouse and taking.
Oh, because we had recording devices on us and we were trying to enter the courthouse with recording devices.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
That was so much BS because we did have our our sound little packs on because our documentary people were following us.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as we got from the hotel to the parking lot across the street from the courthouse, and as soon as we got there, we took them off, left them in the truck, and with our escorts that brought us there. And he goes and says that we were trying to smuggle them into the courthouse, which was being streamed live on Zoom. So
Yeah,
exactly.
I remember when I
like he tweeted it, and then you came back with. I mean, I was like, bam, drop the mic.
Whatever.
It reminded me of whenever I was growing up.
I'm watching myself with what I say, so I don't know what y'all's legal deal is, what you can say about people on.
You just always have to say allegedly.
Yes, we allegedly did that, but no, we didn't allegedly do anything close to what he said we allegedly did.
Yeah, I allegedly believe you. Right, guys?
Grasping for straws. This has all been a
that's like the only defense, right?
Just what, Larry? Here. The few things.
You're welcome.
Hey, Gracia. Hey, baby. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hello.
I'm happy for this particular ruling. Indicates obviously what we've all been saying for a long time of the incompetency. But I think that all he was trying to do was, throw darts against a wall with a 2-inch target. Very made no contact whatsoever.
It's the only defense they have.
That's right.
Allegedly.
Confuse the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing bananas
that sounds
on the dartboard.
Yeah, like him, Eric reading this document tonight. It's like he basically, we've all witnessed just him just firing off all these things just from here to Kingdom Come, and it's just a distraction,
Well, it's a distraction, but it also proves how incompetent he is.
Allegedly.
And the vindication of that is this ruling tonight.
Yeah. So I'm glad y'all are happy.
Oh, we are satisfied. I just hope that this doesn't go to another court and turns around and bites everybody in the hiney. But I don't think it will. And that was a very precise reading. Supplement to the judge, from the judge, and I feel very confident that what the judge says will probably hold up in court. And I can't see me going to court and trying to dissuade a judge to overturn that ruling or a set of judges.
I hope not. I mean, if so, oh man, we need all the popcorn in the world.
Best advice. The best advice for that.
Y'all doing a great job. I love listening to y'all. And
we're glad to have you.
And Eric, I love your comments, son.
He holds back a lot.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He reminds me a little bit of me, except I don't hold back.
Well, yeah, well, he's calmed down a whole lot since the beginning. He used to not do this at all. And I was like, if I can do it, you can do it. We can do this. Yeah. We do it for them.
Well, I've enjoyed listening to y'all tonight. And we're still listening right now. So,
yeah.
But,
well, good.
That's awesome.
It's all say a prayer that it continues and in a positive way, and we can start moving forward without these
absolutely
asinine insults. This man keeps handing to court, and it just makes him look. If I was in Idaho and he was my attorney, and I was looking for an attorney, he wouldn't be my attorney. But if I was looking for an attorney, I would now just say, no, this isn't going to happen.
But maybe he could be mom's attorney at the same time. Just kidding. Anyways,
okay, baby.
Well,
we love y'all, and you got a great show going tonight. We always listen to you. Love you.
We love you too.
Bye.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you. Love ya. I don't ever say that either.
You say love ya?
I don't ever say that.
You never say it back.
Well, no, I do. Sometimes you can tell it's like I'm weird about it because I'm like, well, I love you. Like it takes me a while. I finally say it with the Italians, and they are happy about that.
Yeah,
I even hug them sometimes. That's weird. I'm trying to look True Crime Sushi.
Yeah, she just popped on here. What's up, lady?
I'm so glad to see everybody. Like, there are so many people in here. This is the largest stream that we've had.
Yes, I'm so glad to see people supporting you. I mean, you have a lot of support anyway, but it's really cool.
It's for the love of these three people and Tammy and Joe as well in the corner of the screen right here. That's what it's all about. I think that's why we're all here. We just want to get things going, and like Larry Mom were saying, it's just time for them to stop wasting time. And move along, enough's enough. I mean, we've had more of the attorneys going toe to toe than we have the actual defendants.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a measuring contest. And there's another word in front of that, but that's the way yeah. I don't know how. Oh my God, I can't think because it's a bird. What's the Rob Wood? I don't know how. I would just watch him. He's got to be one of the most patient people because I would not.
Hopefully, it would be maybe Lindsay and Rachel who are like, just calm down.
Yeah.
Hola, True Crime Sushi. Amy at True Crime Sushi.
So I'm not sure what she was saying the question was.
Okay. She said hola. Oh, earlier. Let's see. Let's go back.
Oh, it's way back. Oh, man. I'm behind as usual. Anyway, text me if
about the validity of the waiver Mr. Means furnished to the court. Ultimately, it is not dispositive. What is it? What?
You had it dispositive.
The issue of conflict in the present case and need not be discussed further at this time. Is that a what? I have to read things. I can't read them out loud and comprehend them. So,
Well, something I had like a really, really smart, one of my favorite econ professors. She, like, we were talking about like highlighting, and she's like, does anybody else have to highlight stuff so they can look it up later? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm not the only one that does that.
if I could remember to go and look it up later.
Yeah. And she's a PhD in economics. So I was like, oh, I feel so much better about my intelligence. Thank you. But so, yeah, I have to do the same thing. I have to reread to make sure it's processing.
And yeah, I mean, that was the first time that I actually got to read it when I was reading it with you all.
Well, I think that's best.
I was reading it for the first time, so it was all new to me, just like it was new to everyone else. I had it, but I had 9 different damn things going on at the same time, and one of them wasn't reading either one of these documents. I was a mess. I was a mess. But
I don't. Is this a question from Pops and the Moo Mafia? The more I think of it, isn't it strange that the new GJ? I don't know what a GJ is, y'all.
Grand jury.
Okay, there we go. I don't speak legalese. Was done at the same time. The prosecutor filed that scathing motion against means and conflicts. That is kind of weird, huh? But I don't know if it would have anything to do with it.
No, I just like this part too, because it's like, you've been served, former attorney.
Right?
Okay.
Allegedly.
Super immature.
Laura Nelson wants to know, do we think Means will be interviewed by the bar?
Yes.
Probably got an appointment.
More than once.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a comment earlier that I forget who it was. Remind me, whomever you are. Sorry. That wouldn't that make anything that Means no discoverable?
I think it wouldn't be a separate. I mean,
I don't know.
If he's telling Chad what Lori's is saying, and he's telling Lori what Chad is saying, then
the violation.
Not to mention that him and Price's, here's Price's wall, and then here's Means's wall, and they probably shared the printer, and met at the damn water cooler. That bothered me all in itself. I was like, that's a conflict of everything I believe in, No, you don't get to share walls.
I don't know. Maybe I should have seen this writing on the wall with that last motion or whatever that he put. I think it was the 70-page motion where he's calling Lori. He calls her by her first name in the document, doesn't?
What?
Yeah, he calls her Lori in that document. He doesn't even refer to her as, my defendant or Miss Daybell or Miss Vallow.
He's like, advocate, ding a ding a ding a ding with her bell. I need an advocate, a victim's advocate, please.
Is it the December 2nd? You sent a couple. I'm gonna look.
It might have been, but it's that long one, because he says in there too, because I even put it on Twitter. I threw it out there on Twitter that I don't know if that document was even meant for the public's eyes. For number one, he shouldn't be referring to her by her first name only in an official document, unless they're planning on selling it. And number two, he was talking about how the prosecutors are trying to drive a wedge between the defense attorneys, and the defense attorneys had differing opinions of what defense to use for their client. To me, I read that as something that was probably not meant for public eye, but I was wrong. I mean, they published it, and
and we're publishing.
And yeah,
No, I mean it was let out because I got it from a couple sources.
Oh.
I mean, without getting it, I've had phone calls, not all tied to you. Is what I'm saying. I don't really know. I haven't even had a chance to look at my phone yet, like since I got home.
Do you want to add? This is the 70-page document. Do you want to add it?
What? This one?
Yeah, let me just check.
As long as I don't have to read it, then we're good.
Yeah, he does refer to her a lot as Lori. This is in quotes. I don't know if that's.
He missed the HOR
shaming.
at the end.
Lori, like. Oh, this is like the LDS. Yeah, I think once he pulled this SHIT, that I think that was probably the final. Like now you're bringing a whole bunch of hurt on yourself. And I remember when this happened, I was like, yeah. he's gone. He is gone.
I mean, he's barking. Boo! I'd move out of the country.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, well, when you don't do that anyway, but to a law firm like Curtin McConkie, I mean, you don't even breathe in their direction without permission.
If you read that, if you read just that paragraph 3 right there, that again, Mr. Wood has made himself a material witness in this matters when it should have been matter. It is the intent to call Mr. Wood for a full accounting, not limited to the following, of his personal dealings with the material witnesses in this matter, and to fully expose the court and jury his self-imposed manipulative tactics. You know what that's screaming? Granted, now that I'm looking back on it, that's a guilty. That's somebody who's done that shit. That's why I'm saying that.
Like, let's just change this
Throw
right
him
now.
off the ranch.
Mr. Means. And we'll just correct it.
Allegedly.
Oh, sorry. But let's just keep it big like this. And then I'll just take this and just.
I mean, why not? It seems to be
There we go. That's accurate. Projection. Okay. All right. I'm done now. I'm done defacing legal documents.
Oh, well.
Well, not real ones.
Right. Man, this is crazy. I never would have thought this would have came up this year. I never thought anything would have gotten moving this year. And then bam.
Yeah. That maybe it'll go faster if there's one. Because that's the thing that, when you have incompetent counsel, it's so flipping things. Thank you, Kay. That's the thing when you have people, it's like, how many appeals will we get out of it? Like, I think that's all. Like,
can we give them? Oh, I thought you said appeals. I was like, give them to Lori.
Yeah, I just I want it when it goes I want it to be right.
Me too. And I know I'm not the only one, as far as that. I don't want them to, I mean, they're already doing everything they can. That's the only defense they have is mucking it up. And whenever you have something that is already so, it's like insult to injury.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I can speak for myself. I'm sure my parents, and I'm sure my family feels the same way, but it's just like they're kids and they're innocent freaking people who have no rights, had no rights, no choice, no say in the matter whatsoever, nor do we. We have to sit here and say allegedly and hide or whatever, not hide, but be very, very, I hate watching my mouth. I will mean what I say
what you won't say. But
right, which is why we get along so well. Peas and carrots.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's bullshit. It's bullshit, and I don't understand. I mean, I understand why we have rights. I get it. However, it's like when the victim impact statement is when we get to, you know, ah,
Lord have mercy.
I mean, it's just like there's got to be a better way of some kind of giving co-victims rights also. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like you're not even allowed to really, I mean, you want to share, once you get to that point where you want to share, then you're freaking scared, because then you're like, well, can it be used against me? And whatever. It's freaking weird. It's Twilight Zone. Totally. Totes.
Can't
Twilight.
even imagine.
Well, it's just it's weird. Thank God for my notes. I'm serious.
Oh gosh.
I
Can
can't
we
wait.
just can we just take like 5 seconds and everybody just clap because Judge Boyce finally
Thank you, Judge Boyce.
yeah, Judge Boyce, attaboy.
He finally got.
Oh yeah, we could do it here.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that. But I mean, oh my gosh, he did so much. He seemed so, and this is my opinion. I'm allowed, right?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Your
He
channel.
just seemed so passive.
I know.
I was a little worried. Yeah.
When you want to go to lunch? Okay. I mean,
But
I'm just making a joke there, but it just was so, he was so passive in his courtroom. But when it's time to chime in, he sure did.
Well, if he's related to Ronald Boyce, who was a professor at the U, and like he's really, really well respected. I think it was Ronald Boyce. That was my hope. Once I found out, I was like, oh, I hope he's related, because he was good. I think he's he's like quietly thinking, like kind of not, I don't want to say plotting, but I think he's deliberate. KDH said it. I think he's deliberate, and I think that's what you meant.
Yeah. I mean, I really did like Eden's. He was just very matter of fact, KJ, so now that a-hole is gone, what does this mean for Archibald? Plea agreement? I hope not.
No, I don't think so.
I hope not. Is it too late to apologize now? When is it too late?
Too late for what?
For them to throw people under the bus I should be driving.
At any time that somebody wants to take a deal, unfortunately. I just hope that Rob and Lindsay and the crew, I hope they don't offer them the deal. I hope they make them eat it.
I hope they go and sprinkle it among the others who like to pray.
Yeah. I would hope not, because there have been a lot of opportunities already.
Right, exactly.
Like back in the beginning, wasn't she about ready to talk? And then
yes,
yeah.
Do you remember that with Summy and Mummy? Well, Summy
and Mummy
with Rob and Summy, and he was saying, I mean, there will be so long before they can recant that. It won't be on the table anymore. And just when she was about to talk, Daybell.
Yeah, he talked her out of it.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I just keep that word in my mouth.
Something's gonna crack, I think.
Of course.
And I cannot wait. And it's not gonna be the building falling around them, because they're not translated effing beings.
Right.
Yeah, because I didn't know when you were, when you were a translated being and had all this power, I didn't know you could be crazy too. I mean, who knew? I didn't.
Well, I did not see that in the scriptures.
No, man.
But I loved reading. I don't have it right in front of me, but I loved reading that exact passage because I know that they've read it. And so I'm like, remember that verse, bitch? Yeah.
You got it wrong.
Go run into a wall again.
Yeah, Mom. And y'all, Jen has had this funny story ever since we first started, we first met. And she just always has this funny, I guess, vision.
Yeah, it's just a picture in my head of like her just walking into the wall, like just over and over, and then being like, oh,
What happened?
I don't understand. Maybe if I try again, and then just again. I just saw.
So she's not incompetent. She's just probably bumped her head one too many times.
You know one thing I wouldn't want to do now. I would not play cards with Judge Boyce.
No kidding, right?
I would not want to play being around the cards with that dude because he'd take every penny I got.
Yeah.
All 6 of them.
Stacy B says that KJ and the Ray at least a plea wasn't offered on the first charges. If she had pled guilty before kids were found, the charges wouldn't be upgraded. Huh. No murder charges, double jeopardy. That's crazy. KJ says good point.
Katie H, did they ever get the court order to forcibly medicate Lori, or did she agree to take meds?
I thought they did that in the beginning. When they came back, I said, what?
It's weird because, like, I have, and I live in a different state, but I have family that works in a hospital, and they're like, it's easy to get those orders. Like, you literally just send them to judge says, yep, and then they end up getting shots in their asses. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know why. Maybe she was taking them and then refused. I mean, depending on what they are, like,
she might have been selling them. She's indigent.
Yeah.
If they did get it, they haven't. They're not going to tell us. They've sealed it.
Yeah. I can't imagine that they wouldn't have ordered it. I just can't imagine that wouldn't be, because they could just say, okay, well, then you're just going to go back and, that's
in your jail cell and try to break the walls down. Yeah. Okay, so are we going to do the live stream for tomorrow for the hearings? Because I was going to go ahead and set that up afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and just be ready. I'm going to be early, allegedly.
What time are you doing? Because I've got it's thing 1 and thing 2 for another day. So if I'm not part of it, then I'll be just
jump in. Mom had told me earlier what time it was. I just have to defrag.
Oh, that's right. It's on the internet.
Mom, if you, because she told me
it's 10:30
Mountain time, so 11:30 my time, which is Central, and then to 12:30 Eastern time, and then what would that be Pacific, Jen?
9:30.
It's an hour behind you.
Yeah, 9:30. Yeah, so it says 10:30 Mountain time.
Look, I literally.
Oh, I should do that.
Yeah, it doesn't help because then I swear, it's like we do to each other what I used to do to Mom, and then she hit me the other day with it, and I was like, wait, I don't know what world I'm in right now.
Do I think that is it going to be bad weather? Is that why it might not happen?
No, it's going to they're going to do breakout meetings. What's going to happen?
Yeah. But we can at least visit and Had difficult research. I think hearing will still happen 10:30 Mountain Standard Time. So everybody here, all 240 of you. Oh my gosh!
If it doesn't, we'll get about 50 texts about 4 a.m.
Oh, I know, right? Why
Why
do
can't they do those like little breakouts like before? Like, can you just figure that shit out and then we can just watch like?
The first
Yeah.
hearing starts at 10.
Oh, see, it changed. Like mine, I was just looking at the Vine link.
The first
Maybe
hearing
it does
starts.
say 10 and
Well,
10:30.
there's two hearings. There's one at 10 and one at 10:30.
Oh.
One is the
Eric's about to be blushing.
one
Veronica
is
Welch
motion
says
to
Eric
quash.
looks like Charles.
He does it a little bit.
He,
Hey, baby.
he said whenever he heard Uncle Jerry talk, he said, "What'd you say?" You said, "I already put some tweets out. Jerry Vallow 2024 or something like that."
Hey, that's I don't mean
Veronica
to interrupt
Welch.
you, but
Yeah,
what's your
Veronica
mom-
Welch.
what's your
Veronica
mom
Welch.
said right there?
I know. I'm about to put it up. I'm still right here though. I was
didn't
trying to
see
make a compliment.
So what's the one at 10 and what's the one at 10:30?
I think the IDHW one is the latter one.
Okay, so that one we might not know. Do you think that'll still, because it's like
Thank you.
the healthcare thing?
Thank you, Cassie. Mom says, not sure about hearing. Won't know definitively until tomorrow morning. Of course. Well, we won't know till the hour passes.
Yeah.
No. Aw. Thank you, Jamie Dressler. God bless all of you and some prayers for you, Kay, and Larry this Christmas and for everybody here. And back to you, Jamie Dressler. Also for KJ's mom, who's in the hospital.
Yes.
That was a rough start.
Yeah.
Person of interest, thank you for being here. I think you said you're all the way from Africa, right?
Yes. South Africa, I believe.
Who is?
Like,
Um,
person interest, I think. There's a couple subscribers.
Eric, I did talk to Dax on. I did not know you could talk to people on Twitter. I was like, "What's this?" And I did it, and then he gets on there. We're like, blah, blah, blah. It was awesome. It was so cool. It was so
Dax,
cool.
Dax cool, man.
He really
cool.
is.
Yeah.
Very, very, very like on point with this case all the way over there. I was just
He's-
like, wow.
He's put together just about anything you approach him with.
Whew.
Dude is slick for real. I mean,
he knows it, and he was questioning, just bam, 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 and I was like, wow, okay. I'm just tripped out because this Twitter phone thingy worked. I never get on there. So I don't know if you hear from him, let him know I said hi, and same. That was just kind of crazy. He showed up in the live stream that one time, and then Twitter phone. Twitter phone. I wonder if Mark the Mad Hatter memes will use the Twitter phone.
Are you gonna wake up early?
I'll be
I
on.
would remind you, but we know that I'm just as bad. I'm not a morning person.
Jason's got my back.
Ah,
well, 10:30. Somebody had asked in the chat. It's 12:30.
Yeah, we're an
Eastern,
admin. You're an admin, so both of y'all. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm
no,
not.
I can't respond to anything.
All three of us.
I'm not.
Yeah, I can't do anything.
I did.
I couldn't highlight
Well,
anybody.
we'll legitimately get all that housekeeping done for tomorrow's. But yes, you are an admin. You're an admin, and I have 3 empty seats. So
Everybody's an admin.
Yeah, I'm Oprah here. I wish.
Yes.
I'd be the darkest of them all, according to Chad and Lori. And their rating scale. I want to see the whole thing.
The whole thing.
The whole rating scale.
Oh.
Like, that's one thing I'm just like, I just inquiring. I'm nosy. I don't know. Out of all the things to know. Well, I mean, yeah, allegedly Oprah Winfrey is the darkest cane of all. There's 50 dark cocaine or something.
Oh yeah, those they are racist as shit.
That's what I'm saying. I just want to see their craziness. I remember whenever Anna LeBaron, she was on a Hidden True Crime, Hidden True Crime, and she was on A1 Reese's. They each did interviews with her, and I love her. I bought 2 of her books, and don't know if I gave Mom one. I got one from Mom.
Out of work, yeah.
But I mean, it's a little different level. But at that time, nobody was saying cult. Nobody would admit cult. No, nobody would say, "Oh, it's a cult." And I'm like, it's a damn cult. You don't just say cult and then there's no cult. Somebody's cultivating somewhere. Okay. Somebody needs to form a cult or something, because you don't just get to say it and then it not be one. And then people would say, well, and this was kind of, it's been an eye-opening experience for me, for sure, myself. But like, people would say that, Chad Daybell just wasn't, what is that word? Charismatic. And I was like, but it didn't make him less deadly. I mean, it's from my perspective,
yeah,
as well as it gets.
I was thinking about it earlier today.
Oh yeah.
And I think that, how do we know Lori isn't? I mean, she's, well, just I've been told and stuff. How do we know?
Oh, you've been told?
Yeah. How do we know it was Chad? I mean, like, she was more like, it was her friends, in my opinion, like her family, her, like, she kind of had a
yes,
and then like Dumbo Ding Dong joined.
I gotcha.
I mean, he too, it was on the rise, but I think
it, like they say, it was a cult within a cult.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the extremists, which are you still working on that?
Yeah, I was gonna be working on it tonight, but yeah, in the next day or two.
Okay.
And it's not as like you've done a lot more work on the side of like where these ding dongs were at. It's a little more like, I'm trying to give a little more history, like a little behind, so that people can see like how these people, like
what forms them.
Yeah, kind of, not saying that the religion did, but just saying like the mindset,
their upbringing, their nurture versus nature. I mean, it goes way back. I want to reform some of Rick Ross's bite system.
Yeah, I need to read more about him, but yeah, I think there is like and it's not because people are going to be like, you're blaming the Mormon Church. No. Not. It's like if someone says something to you,
the shoe
and
fits,
like how they twist it in their mind. So like, it's to say like, this is actually where this came from. Like, this is how, and this is the same with all these extremists and groups that I'm going to talk about. Like, this is what they do. They choose what they listen to. And then when the church comes out and says, no, don't do that, please. They go, oh, well, they weren't talking to us.
Right.
They were talking to progressives.
No. And then nobody does anything. Everybody just turns their back. And then that doesn't mean they go away.
Right.
That means they really cultivate. And I guess if I could ask for one thing from the church, it would be just to show me better than you can tell me kind of thing, is to take their temple recommends away from them.
Yeah.
Make them earn them back or something.
I'd 1000% back that.
I don't think that's asking too much. I mean, if they're not going to be imprisoned, at least let them not be praying away.
They shouldn't be anywhere near a house of the Lord.
Xanax and stuff and doing weird things. I don't pray that way.
They did. Sorry.
No.
They did just changed the handbook again.
But do
And-
they read it? I mean, does
No,
everybody-
they don't read it. Well, when they read it, they go, "Oh, they're not talking about us." But
or it's changed again, or
yeah, it's encouraging because it's the most like the problem is they don't ever name these groups. They don't name people, and so when they don't do that, then these groups view that as like validation.
Okay, they're not talking about me. They're talking about my brother over there.
Right. But the wording in the policy, I'll read it. I don't have it handy. Is a pretty, I don't want to say secure, but basically like it's clear that they don't like this. But the problem is like, okay, well, who are you investigating? Because you investigate a lot of your progressives and stuff like that. Do you invest? Like, we need to know more about this and the people that are doing these things. Like, just give us a list. Just like leak it to Court TV, please, and then we'll feel better.
Everything else is there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, I think they leaked the letter. Actually, I think the church leaked it themselves, allegedly.
Yep. Mom just start saying allegedly. Me and Jason, the kids even say allegedly. We just allegedly say allegedly all the time. Jason's like, "Will you hand me the remote?" I'm like, "Allegedly." I am going to give that link to you, Trey. Who was it? Angela Pendleton. Sir.
I agree with Tracy Wendover says never allow them in the temple again.
That's what I think. I mean, I know that, well,
they shouldn't be.
It's not my place. It's just not my place. And there should be some disciplinary action. Lord knows there's disciplinary actions for everything else. I mean, I just don't think it's out of range. I don't think it's too much to ask.
It isn't. It isn't.
I mean,
you got people doing criminal activities in your church and you don't do nothing about it.
Well, they don't. If they do, they don't say it. And unfortunately, the crazy clown posse,
insane clown posse,
whatever they are, they're not going to say if they've been disciplined. So it's possible they have been, but they're not going to admit it.
But then again, there's Abraham Gigliotti, okay, who was one of the September,
right?
Huh?
But he was reinstated, right?
Exactly. So I call it recommunication. They recommunicate.
Yeah.
and I mean, whatever. I want to be forgiven for sins I've freaking committed and will commit and commit. Allegedly, never.
Hi, Jason.
He's like, "Can I get my cup?" I'm like, "You can do whatever you want." I need a cigarette too. Oh, yeah. Anyways, but yeah. Oh, like, saying, well, a teenager gets
shit.
Oh, okay.
Is that what
there you go. For
just
making out they can deal with these people. One would think. And again, Kelly B, thank you for the super sticker. That was very sweet. Thank you so much. You always comment and are here. Sadly, it's all about the money. And I wouldn't even just say for the LDS. It's for all of them. They all have their hands out, and it sucks. And it's just, there's so many things I want to change. I know that we all want to change. It just would have been nice to have gotten a sympathy card or
visit
a service where they speak their name or pray for them.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Hosanna shout.
Fucking acknowledgement. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Well,
I get it. I start to get irritated because I think of reading the text messages and the tithing and the one that really gets me is when Charles says to her, "You twisted our gospel." So I just think him and then Tylee's link and JJ studying the scriptures, and I think you could acknowledge that's where I go. That has something to do with the church,
directly. Like, I mean,
Tylee and JJ and Charles and Tammy, they
And-
were all practicing Mormons. They were all faithful, and they deserve acknowledgement and they deserve changes.
and thank God we have the beautiful community members of Rexburg who
Yes.
should have had some kind of victims advocate, whatever team go out there, because I mean the hair is still impacted by this.
Yeah, they
I
needed
actually
more.
brought that up to Janine the other night, and she was like, "Oh wow," like she had not thought about it. And then I was like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Yeah.
No,
Maybe they will next. I don't want to say next time.
yes, here.
Hopefully
Sorry,
there won't be, but
I'm sorry.
yeah.
To me, it's real simple. It's called being proactive, not reactive.
There you go. And I used to be a reactive wench.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay,
listen.
I don't know what this. Okay, since
We
Charles
just
was a
had
financial center, didn't he have his
80
own assets that Lori swindled? What do you mean? They pretty much rented everything from what it looked like. It seemed like she kind of.
I'm sure she was charging shit up.
I'm not sure what that means. I mean, yeah, he worked. He provided for his family, and she spent all the time in the temple, as well as volunteered on Thursdays to work in the temple. And then when she was not doing that, she was allegedly, basically saying, "I will murder, or give me a temple recommend, or I'm going to murder somebody, or give me one, and then I'm going to murder everybody." So there you go.
Let's see how manipulative she is. Like when you listen and you go, okay, like you try and put yourself, like, could I believe this shit?
Right.
And you can see how, like,
Conniving.
She very conniving. Yeah, that's the perfect word. And just the way she was in that video with Tylee, where they're at the station, I just was like, hi, 20 years ago.
Right.
Or no, 25 years. Oh my gosh, 25 years.
Even at the car, when they first showed up at the scene with the cops, the day my uncle was murdered, and like Lori looked over at Tylee like, what? And she like mouthed it, what? And it was just, she was just nervous. It's like she was just keeping her mouth, her lips, so she couldn't wait to be like, woo woo, and splish splash, party, pull it up. Whether it was just, her whole family that showed up or whatever, it happened. It had to have happened. I don't need the proof. We know. You just know some things, and I mean, it just sucks. It just really sucks, and I'm grateful that Brandon is alive. And his children are alive. Very grateful.
Salty ain't charged Melanie yet. I'm salty about that.
Let's just keep praying, Let's just keep praying, because I've always felt that, all the darkness will come to light, and it has.
You're right.
You can't look back and say, no, it hasn't. We could still not even know where the kids are. You know how freaking that would be worse, I think, than anything. I don't think we'd ever. I can't even make a sentence right now. But I don't know, Stacey B. I've asked. That's what made me hone in on them. Really, was just like, why aren't y'all saying anything?
Stacey was asking, why has the LDS community not risen up and said how wrong this was at Elmham?
Sorry.
I think a lot of people have. I know people that are upset. I've had people in my comments say that they're disappointed. I think what you have is you have 15 men that are in their 80s and 90s that aren't super like in with it, right? Like they want to
They
protect.
have PR. I
Yeah.
mean, back in 2018, 2019, when Anna LeBaron's, she lost some of her, there were 8 or 9 women and children that right there at the Mexican border were blown. I mean, just in a
Oh
horrible
yeah, I was just
Wow.
reading about that.
And
Both
I
of y'all-
remember running across Oxygen article in the very beginning of this case. First case I ran across was Ervil LeBaron, and I saw where the church made a statement, and they were a sect. Like they were like, no, I'm the prophet, and and they were like, well, it's okay, hope everybody's okay. How's your mom and them? And I was just like, okay, I can't wrap my mind around, but that's okay. I don't have to. I just acknowledge it. I know it, and I'm aware of it, and I don't have to agree with it. But I pray and I hope that it's something that they will change and look for, maybe running some interference, like Eric said, being proactive versus reactive. It's not admitting any guilt. God knows I'm not saying that they pull
No,
the trigger or anything,
I
but
think you'd have to be.
I'm just saying it's just weird. It's odd. And just how Lori was in the court appearance when she, you could see her boogers. That's how high her nose was when she passed my parents. And she's just tight lip, and she's been that way. Well, up here. Anyways. So the church, it's like they resembled each other to me. I was like, okay, yes, your upbringing, it starts in the home, but then you have church, you have, influences, you have school, you have your, your friends, all these influences and stuff. And so it's just, I don't know. It's just, it mirrors each other way too much for me. I've
Well, I
learned
can
a
tell
lot
you-
about narcissism and throughout
Yeah.
the, whoa.
I can tell you what it kind of comes down to, and this is my theory. So I think the LeBarons, it was easier because it was
House.
it wasn't people, it wasn't Mormons or fundamental, like it was a cartel.
Were they like,
But-
hey, we have to say it or we'll get red rings?
Maybe. See, the thing with this case is that I've talked about it before, like the power of discernment, the discernment of spirits, like really technically according to doctrine, where Chad held leadership positions, he held those positions based on the belief of the priesthood power to discern good from evil. So when they kind of have to admit in this case that whoopsies, some of our leaders are wrong, because when you get called, by a state president,
It's like not even a whoopsie wrong. It's just like, oh crap, y'all, let's hold a meeting, and I need the old brethren and the young brethren, whatever. And just you powwow and you evolve, right? That's what policy does, right, Jen?
I mean,
You constantly have to change your health policy issues, and because I mean everything, law enforcement, bus school routes. I mean everything. We have to continue changing because the world keeps changing. So I think it's like all across the board, not just churches. I'm talking restaurants.
Yeah, I mean there is a lag, and that's what's hard, is that policy takes forever to change, and we're ready for change now, and that's like across the board. It's the same thing like the economy. There's a 2-year lag. Like, so what happened 2 years ago is responsible for the state of our economy. Like that's how big those policy lags are. And, you know, I was encouraged when I saw them with this latest handbook update. I was a little more encouraged, but Nelson, President Nelson, if I could ask you to do one thing, it's to fucking name people and groups.
Please.
Yeah, pretty please. Thank you so much.
Right. I'll dance at your wedding.
You were a great surgeon, sir.
Sir, doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor, surgeon, sir.
Your brother, president, prophet.
Okay.
Later.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Anyways. Wow. Eric. Oh, wow. That was loud. My bad.
Well, I gotta go.
I've got something going on here.
I'm seeing something that you sent. Oh, that is Person of Interest. Just said, read Under the Banner of Heaven by John Krakauer. Oh my God. Yes. Unless you don't want your world to be shaken. That is actually the book where I was like, okay, this is no longer my truth.
Is it still on Netflix? Because I think I went to find it and it was gone.
I don't know if it ever was. I know they're making a movie and they're filming it in Canada, but I don't know how much they're really going to include because it covers a lot. The book covers like the history, you know, Mountain Meadows Massacre through like the Laffertys. I think they're probably
One day I'll better read a book about something else.
But I have it.
This stuff.
It's all covered in notes and tabs and everything. It's a good book to start with, and then you can go and do your research from there. But it's definitely a great book.
I like the books you sent. Like I've been going over all these articles. Like I don't know if Mom and them have, but it's like your memories from 2 years ago today. And like this article was December 31st, 2019. It was how a Gilbert drive-by shooting is tied to the Idaho missing children. And it's about Brandon. And it's long. And it's crazy because you get that's just that one article. And it's so much more than you get out of just watching a small little news update, which thank God for the news reporters and everything who are dedicated and have been dedicated to this case. But it's just there's so much more, and so I can't stop. I haven't stopped printing stuff because there's so much more meat and potatoes in so.
Well, you're doing an amazing job, you and your family, and I know that's hard, but I don't mean as in like
it's easy with
y'all. I don't mean as in like, oh, like you're perfect. I mean,
oh no, I'm perfect. No.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Remember when I said to you, I'm not a perfect person. You probably should have hung up right then.
No, but I mean, like, I hate to say shedding light. I always like, but people are learning a lot.
I know what you mean. It's well, I don't know any other way to do it. It's like the only voice I have, right?
Right.
It's just I want to understand. That's been my thing. I want to know what's going on. And so I too interjected myself. Okay. Yeah. And I guess if you really look at it, I have interjected myself into this. Yeah. Because I just wanted to know. And I also just want to continue humanizing them because they were, no telling how long they were being dehumanized. That's just what we know. That's not, my uncle used to have such a, he was not cocky or conceited, but he was confident. And I had a conversation with him, it was my last conversation I had with him. And she really did do a number on him. Like he just did not see himself as being attractive anymore. And I was like, dude, are you kidding me? you know, and I'm not being all coxy or nothing
Ugh.
at
Yeah.
all. But I mean, it takes one to know one. But
Charles Vallow could have any woman he wanted. He could have
I,
any woman he wanted.
but he
Well,
wanted
he's
her. He
And
just
that's
wanted
coming
her.
from
Well,
a dude. Charles Vallow is as good looking man as there is on the planet, in my opinion. He could have anybody he wanted.
I
He
concur.
just happened to pick the most evil bitch that was still on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, Mom, maybe my picker wasn't the only one broken. I was just saying, maybe it runs in the family. My picker's fixed finally. Thank you. But it was broken
Oh.
for a really, really, really long time.
Yeah.
So hallelujah to that too. But
Well,
I'm
you know, we all have bad picks, but we all don't run into, you know, annihilators, you know. I mean,
wow, right? Right.
that's
Oh,
the difference.
I hope they don't plead out because I want them to be studied. They
And it's
need to
not,
be studied.
yeah, sorry.
Me too.
It's not like Josh Powell, where everyone was like, yeah, he was weird. He was a creep. You know, everyone with Josh Powell, like you talk, and they're like, yeah, he was creepy.
That
But
wasn't bad.
everyone with
Sorry.
the freaking ding dong and dipshit, oh, they were so great. And they like, you know,
The girl ride her bike to, I mean, and whatever. I hope they find her one day. I really do.
I actually have, I know where that house is. I've driven by that house.
Oh,
When they lived in a community called West Valley, which isn't too far. Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty
yeah, I
cool.
mean,
Not pretty cool. That's just. Whew. I don't know.
yeah, people had spray painted on the like after she went missing, and like I think it was like before, like they had spray painted on a garage, like killer or something like that. And he just, yeah, and that's so like, you know, where she beat him down, where he didn't feel attracted to anyone. That's how she worked. She worked by dividing people, by cutting everyone off that didn't agree with her, and by convincing or trying to convince everybody that she
had to, yeah.
this perfect Mormon wife, you know, Relief Society serving primary teacher, which I'm like, ugh.
They needed her.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
If not, then I'm sure she threw a hissy fit.
And look at, I mean, and not that I give two craps about Chad Daybell, as you all know, but look how she transformed him in that short amount of time. I mean, just, yeah. I mean, just.
What kind of jeans are those? With the bedazzles?
Got that fade haircut, and that gut ain't there no more, and wearing the cool looking clothes.
They both looked possessed. To me, they looked possessed. For sure. I was just like, oh, I've never seen, you know how in that that podcast I have of those three?
The one where
Money, and it's called Come to Jesus Meeting. It's like, and I hate to say this, but I didn't do it.
So come to the Lemons meeting.
Soft Jesus porn, because that's exactly what they made it.
Where she's like, what color were his eyes?
Yeah.
Like,
were they
of course he was blonde because Chad's. He was blonde and blue eyes.
Both of them are oh, sweet Melanie is not so sweet. In fact, she's sour. Anyways, but I was just like, oh my God. But I mean, for Lori's eyes in the picture they released when the kids went missing, you know, her eyes were like piercing blue. And whenever she was arrested in Hawaii, she has that one mugshot where she just looks completely just dark eyes, pupil, like her eye color. I was just like, holy crap, she is freaking possessed.
That
And
she
I mean, I
was.
don't know what possession looks like, but if I ever had to, pull a Mark Means, then there it is. That spaghetti's gonna stick to the wall. Mm. So
Lori Vallow has officially killed another man. She killed Mark Means' career.
she quashed it.
Quashed. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Or is he still married or not legally? Is he legally?
Well, when I was doing a little digging,
Oh yeah.
it appears so.
That he's still married?
It appears by his one of his social media, like
Okay. One of his accounts.
but that was a while ago when I was doing my own, digging.
When you're looking for an attorney?
Yeah, when I was looking for the shittiest attorney in the Intermountain West, I thought, let me see. And unfortunately, he was booked.
Damn it. Damn the luck. Oh.
I'm sure he's got so many former clients going, yeah, we could have told you guys that.
Oh, I agree, Cynthia.
No, she does not. Does she?
I say she does. And if we say it, then, like in their document, it says if you believe it is a good idea, then it's real. What the hell kind of stuff is that?
Yeah. She, oh.
No contacts for Loco, Mom said.
No contacts like for your
like eye contacts, like she didn't possess herself.
No Botox, no filler, no hair.
Did she ever get Botox? I
Yes.
didn't get high pitchy.
Oh, I have had filler and Botox. Like I'm very open about that. Lori had it. And the whole stylist, she can't wear her Lululemon anymore. And you know what? For someone as narcissistic and as obsessed with image and the way she was, like how we notice, right? Like the way she carried herself, like she's had to have taken like the biggest, like, oh my God, she's probably good.
This crap.
You guys would know. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm just being catty.
Well, I was just, you guys were talking about Botox and lips there a few seconds ago. I remember seeing in the pictures from inside the house, she had in her bathroom, in her basket, she had a tube that was called lip primer and lip plumper.
Oh yeah, that's just
that was just my jazz.
Yeah, you can just get lip plumping like gloss.
This is a whole $2. This lasts me like 800 years. It makes my lips feel good.
But I wouldn't put it past her to do her own Botox.
Well, teach me. I want to know. No Botox for several years prior to. It's what she told me, Mom says. I believe her because I could tell by her skin. Yeah.
Can I just make that up in my mind?
I mean, that's just not how she presented herself to. Well, again, thank God. I just didn't have that many run-ins with her.
Yeah.
I'm glad we lived in separate states. I'm glad I was terrified to fly. I'm glad.
Yeah.
But then maybe I could have whooped her ass. I'm sorry.
Oh, I think so.
On a cartoon one time I saw that.
Don't worry. I'm sure her ass has been whooped at some point. And I'm sure it will be.
Whoop it some more.
Again.
Whip it real good.
Like, that's my only, like, like, she probably doesn't have anyone that could whoop it right now. But she can no longer carry anything on.
When I saw her in that picture of, I guess, the one you have to take for her tablet, I was like, whoa, what the hell is that?
You know what I thought whenever I seen that circulating around? It looks to me like that she's been on steroids because when my mom for rheumatoid when she had to when she, blah, with her rheumatoid arthritis, they would
She
when
has
it
that?
got so bad that she couldn't
Your mom.
move.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
my
thought you were
mom.
talking about Lori having it. I was like, what?
Well, no,
I'm
but
sorry.
what my mom's face would swell up, and believe it or not, my mom kind of looks like Lori in that picture when
Well, your
she's
mom's a
when
beautiful
she
freaking
was on
angel
steroids, when she was
compared.
on steroids for that rheumatoid. So, and I seen in that picture and that one wedding picture
Mhm.
where her hand is curved really, really bad, also just like my mom. So,
She
and this
probably
has
just
been
strangled somebody.
this has been
Yeah,
months
I
ago.
mean,
I'd
if
asked if
she's
she had
on,
rheumatoid or not, but I don't
yeah,
know.
that could be. But if she's on like Thorazine or Zyprexa, Haldol, Seroquel, um,
I wonder if they're crushing them out.
that'll put a lot of weight on you. That'll put a lot of weight on people, and that could be. I actually thought of this when she was refusing. I actually thought maybe they put her on it and she started gaining weight and she flipped the fuck out. I mean, flipped out. Sorry,
Well,
my
but that
filter.
picture that we saw over there, that was real early in her jail stint. So
Yeah, that was on
she wasn't
Plunder.
on psych meds then.
I just want to show you all the bracelets again. I just put it in chat. These are the new ones. They say, and I put a cross on them too. Justice for Tylee, JJ, and Charles until I can work up. Okay, this is a crawl. You got to crawl before you walk over here. And then on the inside of the bracelet, hopefully it'll show it. It says, "Love always wins." So there we go. Now Christian knows how to use a camera. And it's really orange. It's orange, but next time I'm going to go with a deeper orange. It's hard to just kind of order off the internet. It looks orange.
I
It
like
looks like a duck. Yeah, it's a duck. But, we'll get it going. Actually, the national colors for murder victims is red and black. I just know that the justice thing will be adjudicated one day. And for Uncle Charles to say, love always wins.
Love always wins.
Then yeah.
It always wins.
Wow, why wouldn't it? A lot of people in the beginning they were like, "Well, it didn't. It didn't work. It didn't. How did love win?" And I was like, "Because it's gonna. I don't know. Just something. Just
Yeah.
it just did. It just makes sense to me. To me, it makes sense. And
It's carrying his voice forward.
their voices. It's the law. 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 And Lori done fought the law, and the law won. Ooh. Anyway, so I don't know. They just inspire me. They do. They inspire me every day. And every time that you guys are here or, just racking your brains, going down rabbit holes after rabbit holes and just, oh God, I know that we appreciate and love every freaking one of y'all. One day, I swear, in my mind, in my perfect world, it's just like, I can't wait to hug every one of y'all. If we got to pop a white tent city up at in Courtville, USA, whatever, I'm
They're all
down.
in bubbles by then.
I am down.
I've already started thinking about and looking for hotel rooms in Boise.
Well,
And
KJ's got a camper.
And Nampa too. You can look at Nampa too, and then there's another, and they're right by each other. Nampa might be a little cheaper, but I love it. Your mom said, I saw it and I was laughing because she said Big Bertha. I think it's Big Bertha and her crew. I think they're like, all right, you're gonna take hair.
Yeah, I still have a couple more of the the Justice for Tylee and JJ bracelets, but not many more. And then somebody asked, I'm sorry. I'm just like,
They're really
I'm a one woman show here.
they're really durable because I don't ever take mine off.
Sure.
I like
Larry-
wear it in the shower and everything, and it hasn't like.
And Larry was so impressed. He was like, he said, "Oh wow!" He said, "It actually it fits." Like he got it over his hand. So I have this on the back of my phone on this small phone. But anyways, the little cheap, I don't know, the little ring thing. He put he tried doing that. And he got it like that far, and he said, "Check this one." And then he got it that far. I was like, Jesus, I've never noticed that man's sausages. I'm like,
Oh my gosh!
how the hell did you get that bracelet over there, and how does it fit me and the kids? How does this work? But I can't sleep with them because they pull hair and all kinds of stuff. I look like Trisha Web Sleuth. I'm like, that is so me. That is so me. We can't hang around each other without supervision because we'd be like tinsel in a tangle. I swear, tinsel in a tangle. I'm so appreciative of this. Everyone here of all the supporters. I call y'all God's army. That's a new thing I came up with. I just thought it up all by myself. I made it up. No, but I think I'm gonna have some shirts printed because it says it.
Yeah,
it's God's army, and in my opinion, and I mean to our family. It's like without y'all, when this first came, I was like, oh, hell no. Oh my God, what? I'm not getting in front of nothing, no camera, nothing. I still haven't, besides this one. And this was a process.
yeah.
And I did.
Like that document said, that the case is still in its infancy. You're still in your infancy with doing this, just like I am, just like Jen is, just like Amy is, just like
we're growing. Yeah.
This is only going to blow up and get bigger and bigger. That's all there is to it.
That's
you're
awesome.
Gonna blow,
I love it.
You're going to blow it up, and it's going to be awesome. So
it's because of them. Why do we do it, Eric? Because of them. Because of them.
Yeah.
We do it for them.
We do this for them.
I did tell my Aunt Susan the other day, we went to Ashlyn, my daughter, turned 16, and we went to her birthday dinner, and my Aunt Susan was there, which is my mom and Uncle Charles' sister. And she's like, "What do you do on your podcast?" And I was like, "It's not a podcast." But, okay, yes, ma'am. It's a damn podcast. And she was like, "Oh, I couldn't do that." And I said, "You think I ever wanted to do this crap?" And she was like, and I said, "But you know what, Aunt Susan?" I said, whenever Tylee, JJ, and Charles can go through the deaths that they had to suffer and go through, I mean, I can't wrap my brain around. I never want to wrap my brain around it, but it's the least I can do, right? Like, it's the least I can do. Their voices were murdered. They were taken away. They were silenced. They were snuffed out. They were quietened. And then I was like, I have to be a voice for them. And then I'm telling Jen this, and I'm like, I mean, like, I sound like a broken record, and I couldn't put a sentence together. Still have days like that. And then,
oh, sorry.
And she was like, "Oh, I forgot what." But I forgot what. I was like, how can I be a voice for them if I can't even find my own? And so Jen really was big with helping me with that. And I love you for that.
Well, I love you too, but you did it yourself. I remember though, like when we did that first, we didn't even put it up, right?
have
Like the
it.
very first, we did a collab together like a few months ago. It was like our first time. We were talking for like 4 hours. We never ended up uploading it, but
I
just
have
from
it.
that, you had, and I remember, and especially in the beginning, you were like, "Oh, I just have to get ready," and then I'd be like, "Okay," 3 hours later.
I was stunned.
Because you're, well, and I'm kind of like that too. Like if I'm nervous or uncomfortable, like I'll just take forever. I'll procrastinate. I'll be like, oh no, I have to like clean out, dirt from my shoe that I wore last night.
Because oh my god, I can't go on live with my feet showing like this. I ran across that Mel Robbins chick. She's the only normal Mel I've run across besides my Aunt Melanie Vallow. Allegedly, no. But anyways, Mel Robbins, she came on YouTube the other day, and she's just like, I'm like, dude, I could just listen to her, and she's like, she talked about procrastination, and I was like, I know. I'm talking to myself, like, I know, damn it, I know. And she was like, no, it's just because you're overstressed, you're overstressed. So what do you do when you're overstressed? You just kind of have to get all that nervous energy out and stuff. And I was like, I never looked at it that way. And that's her perspective, but still, she does TED Talks and has 3 million views. I don't. I procrastinate. She don't. So there's that. So if you get God's Army shirts made, I'm sure that we would all wear those. Oh, no. During the trial, it would be pretty neat to see so many wearing them outside the courthouse in Boise. It would. All over, sleeping,
Have to design them so they're cute and they don't look too military-ish, or people will think that we're all
extremist group just showed up.
They'll be like,
Or
hey,
did that
for Desnat.
fatigues? We'd have to wear the.
But I think that would be really sweet.
We're pretty creative.
Yeah. No, you can definitely design something totally like kick-ass.
Yeah.
With your thumbnails and everything. Like,
both of you guys, man, you guys.
I know.
You guys are phenomenal with doing that stuff.
I'm pretty boring.
Yep. I don't know. We'll come up with something. And again, I like everybody's opinions. It would be cool if they were all tie-dyed, because that kind of represents everybody. It's the only way I can kind of think about it.
That would be cute.
Oh, don't freaking cry.
Do it. I'm glad I'm not on camera. Come a long way. Oh,
thanks, Mommy.
You have. All right. So with that, I'm experiencing emotion and tears, and so I'm gonna go.
We all are. Thank y'all so much. And look, I'm gonna go ahead and schedule the live to cover the hearings and/or allegedly cover the alleged hearings tomorrow. So just look out for that. I'll do that as soon as we get off of here. Thank you for any super chats and super stickers. I'm sorry I don't, I try not to break up the conversation, but trust me. I'm gonna find a better way of doing this. This is a lot to kind of balance, and I just want y'all to know that I thank you. It's gonna help move us forward. That's all I can say. It takes money to make money, and yeah, so there's that. And in this way, it's more fun, in my opinion. You're really doing the groundwork, and Jen gives me really good books.
Michelle's like, why are you ordering? I'm like, oh, just
step by step guide on how to
like me and
make a nonprofit organization. I'm like,
well, no. I know. I was like, I think I love it. Overwhelmed, and then I thought, yeah, but she's like, you're like me in that you really like to read and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It
I
helps.
appreciate you too, Eric. You're the big brother I never knew I needed. But I
I
love.
got you, girl. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you too, Eric.
Love, love, love. Love always wins. Thank you, Kim.
Thanks,
Katie.
everybody in chat. Everybody stopping by and mods. And we'll do it all
Thanks.
again tomorrow.
Yes. I will either be in the comments or I will be somewhere on a screen if you invite me. But
You're in like Flynn. All right. Good night, everybody.
okay.
Sleep well. That was the end on a good note.
Remember who you are, what you stand for.
Exactly. And love always wins.
But he always says, like, he's always like bicycle, bilingual.
Oh, yeah. Well, Larry, he's just now saying bye. Used to, he would never even say bye. You're like, blah, 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 and he's gone.
Yeah, that's my dad. All right. Well, I'll say bye, Focal, for Biggie.
Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all. Oh, bye.